Some places hold secrets, secrets better left undisturbed. We travel through the veil between worlds, where ghosts of the past refuse to stay buried. Prepare to witness firsthand the chilling evidence of the paranormal. The story of those who have encountered the other side and the unexplained phenomena that defy logic and reason. Are you ready to face the unknown? Welcome to Milkshakes and Ghost.
This episode is brought to you by
Sinister Brew Coffee isn't your ordinary cup of joe. It's a bold, horror-themed, small-batch coffee company owned by veterans who dare to take your taste buds on a dark and delicious journey.
From cosmic creations to cryptid-inspired blends, every roast comes with a sinister twist. Handcrafted for those who crave something truly unique.
It's not just coffee. It's an experience steeped in mystery, macabre storytelling, and flavors that are to die for.
Dare to sip in the shadows and join the Sinister family at sinisterbrewcoffee.com.
Where every cup reminds you that the darkness is delicious.
Hey everyone! It's time for our listener tales! These are stories by you, for you, because let's be honest, it's all about you.
You guys sent these in, and we are sharing them because you are the best. It's time for April Listener Tales. But before we get started, I just need to know one thing.
What's that, Jessie?
What you drinking today?
My favorite question of the day. Well, since we're almost in summer, I decided to make a mixed fruits milkshake. It's a summer special.
How many times do I have to tell you fruit belongs in a smoothie, not a milkshake?
Whatever. I feel like fruit can be in both, okay?
No, it can't. Fruit does not belong in a milkshake. How many times do I have to say this?
Of course it can. So anyways, I got this recipe from cookpad.com. It's actually really good.
What kind of fruit did you throw in your milkshake, so-called milkshake smoothie?
The recipe was really simple. It's 1 mango, 1 apple, 1 banana, chopped papaya, a little tiny bit of sugar, and some milk. The top is garnished with some mixed dry fruits. I'll link the recipe in the show notes for anyone who's interested in trying it out.
I'm sorry, but no, that is not a milkshake. That's a smoothie.
Okay, so I'm not in disagreement with you. It is basically a smoothie, but the recipe online called it a fruit milkshake, okay? And technically, it does have milk in it.
They need to rename it. That is not a milkshake. That is a smoothie. Anything with fruit in it is a smoothie, not a milkshake.
Look here. If it has milk and it was shaken in a blender, it's technically still in the category of milkshake.
So not a milkshake, Mom.
Okay, no argument there, Jessie. So, what's in your cup today?
Today, I made myself a s'mores mega milkshake.
Wait, didn't you try a milkshake like that before?
I did, but not this one. I got the recipe from allrecipes.com. It took me about 10 minutes to make.
Okay, so what's in it?
1/4 cup of marshmallow cream, 4 graham crackers, chocolate, Rocky Road ice cream, Itzman's Little Bites, Pepperidge Farm s'more cookie, 2 Pop-Tarts, more pastries, 6 miniature peanut butter cups, chocolate syrup, and chocolate sprinkles for a topping.
Well, the recipe sounds like it took a little bit of work, but it does sound good. It sounds like it has a lot of sugar.
It did take some work, but it was worth it at the end of it, so.
Do you like it? Does it taste good?
Yeah, it tastes really good, but I only gave a small breakdown of how to make this milkshake. I won't get into the full recipe because it's like crazy, but I will link it in our show notes for anyone who wants to give it a try. No one has to try my mom's milkshake, though. I'm not forcing you. No.
All right, so I guess your milkshake sounds good. Okay, I guess. It's just a lot of sugar, and I can see it on your face because right now you're starting to look like the Joker. from Batman. You look a little cray-cray. Stop it.
No.
Okay, so let's dive into our April listener tales from all of you wonderful people out there. The first story we have is from Tanya Weber. Tanya has a podcast of her own called Love, Dating, and Marriage, Tales from the Darkside. Her podcast is available on all major platforms, so make sure to give her a follow. Tanya writes in and says, "Hi ladies, and Jack too.
Hey, Tanya.
I have a few more stories about Oakland Hall located in Eaton, Georgia. These next stories are about experiences that happened in the attic. I already know that Jesse is going to throw away the whole house at this point.
Burn the house down. We're not throwing it away. We're burning it down."
No fires, Jesse. So Tanya says, "The rocking horse. In the attic, there was a rocking horse that the landlord stored. I would randomly hear noises coming from the attic and express my concerns to the landlord, and she said that it was just the raccoons. After this went on for a week, I finally went to the attic to investigate because the noise was obviously being made by something being dragged across the floor. When I opened the attic door, the rocking horse was in a different spot than the day before, and it was rocking. Every time I had to go to the attic, the horse was always in a different spot in the attic. I would purposely move it back to where it was originally and close the attic door, and every time within 5 minutes, I could hear it being moved across the attic."
Throw away or burn down that rocking horse, or I'll do it for you. Because a matter of fact, just burn the house down. Just do it.
Tanya has a second story. The thing behind the beams. The attic was not a finished attic that had exposed beams and a ton of hidey holes that things could hide. One night, I was up there going through my boxes, looking for something. I felt like I was being watched, and I could hear heavy huffing type breathing. I stood there for a second, trying to figure out where the breathing was coming from. Because if it was one of those raccoons my landlord loved to blame things on, I did not want to run into it. It sounded like it was pacing back and forth. I took my flashlight and looked around and did not see anything. I could sense that whatever this was getting agitated. I was about 8 feet from the door and decided to make a run for it. As I ran, I heard what sounded like a big animal running behind me. I made it to the door and flipped it up. Think of the attic door from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And just as it flipped up and closed, I heard something jump on the door with a very heavy thud. The local ghost hunting group that came out also experienced the same feeling and sounds I did, which validated that it wasn't in my head and definitely not a raccoon.
I'm glad you noped down there, Tanya. And I hope you move that same night. Or just burn the house down. That's all you gotta do.
No way that was a raccoon, Tanya. It sounded like it was something heavy. I'm really glad you made it out safe.
Like I said, just burn down the house. Like, attics are a no for me. We have an attic though, but Mom, isn't that where you found that creepy Marilyn Monroe doll?
Yeah, it sure is. And after investigating that doll, I put it right back in the attic. That doll was creepy. Our attic is creepy. I guess every attic is really creepy if you think about it. Now, in our household, no one goes in the attic. No one's allowed up there after I put the doll back. We don't know how that doll got up there to begin with, so the whole thing is just creepy and mysterious, and that is a note for me and Jesse. We are not burning down this house, okay?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I have no intention on going up back there.
I'm glad you're listening to me, Jesse. And Tanya, thank you so much for writing in. I hope you're doing well and are safe.
Tanya, hopefully you're staying out of any attics.
Definitely stay away from all and every attic you come across.
This episode is brought to you by
Embrace the enchanting darkness with wicked Salem candles. Spooky, yet delightfully scented. Discover non-toxic, aromatic, long-lasting, clean burn, eco-friendly soy candles in bewitching scents and vibrant colors.
Wicked Salem Candles is a healthy alternative for people with allergies or respiratory issues. while also being environmentally friendly due to the renewable nature of soy wax.
With these candles, you're not just illuminating your space with a steady glow, you're protecting the environment. These candles are safer and environmentally friendly since they release fewer harmful chemicals into the air when burned.
Do you like getting candles with a longer burn time? Well, with Wicked Salem candles, you'll get just that. These soy candles provide a consistent, unwavering flame, crafted for a lasting brilliance.
Wicked Salem candles are more than just candles. They offer a curated collection of spooky treasures. Discover bewitching room sprays, hauntingly beautiful art decor, and spellbinding accessories.
Whether you're preparing for Halloween, celebrating the fall season, or simply love a touch of the macabre, Wicked Salem Candles has something for you. Enjoy a touch of spookiness all year round.
Affordable, yet aromatic, long-lasting, environmental, friendly scents. If you're ready to illuminate your path the Wicked Salem way, visit wickedsalemscandle.com. Wicked Salem candles, so good it's scary.
The next story we have is from Faye Evans, and it says, "Hello to the Spooky Queens of Podcast."
Yes, we are the Spooky Queens of Podcasts.
Actually, I'm the queen.
We are both queens.
Sure. My name is Faye Evans, and yes, you can use my name. I listen to you ladies every week. Honestly, I wish the two of you had new episodes every day.
I wish we could have episodes every day. Maybe one day in the future, we'll be able to have at least 2 episodes every week.
That means double milkshakes, double cotton candy, double gummies.
Okay, let's bring it.
Faye says, "No one else believes me when I tell this, but I know you ladies will believe me. My house was built in 1952. Oh my gosh, Mom! That's the same era you were born in.
Just stop right there, Jessie. Just stop.
And I'm positive it's haunted. My stepdaughter is the only one that seems to see what I've been feeling. I sense the presence of an elderly lady and man. The lady seems friendly, but the man seems aggressive. While I'm feeling this, my stepdaughter is seeing it. My stepdaughter says the old lady used to have a garden where I now have mine. I love gardening, and I have a section of my backyard covered in different fruit trees and vegetables, along with pretty flower beds. I can feel the old lady's presence every time I'm outside gardening. I never told anyone what I was sensing though. One day, my stepdaughter came to visit with her husband. I brought her outside to show her my garden and have her take home some produce. That's when she stops and looks at me. "We're not alone," she said. "There's an old lady here with us. The lady says she likes your garden." I was completely shocked when she told me this. I then confided in her what I was feeling. My stepdaughter explained that she could see spirits. We bonded over this. Everyone else thinks we're crazy and doesn't believe anything we say.
That's amazing that the stepdaughter can see what Faye has been feeling. I love that they bonded over it.
Faye continues to say, "On another day, a neighbor was walking by. This neighbor had not been to her house in a while and told my husband, 'Oh my gosh, we haven't been by in forever. I remember the old lady who used to live here. She always had flowers out here and a bunch of plants inside the dining room.' As she looks in her backyard and says, 'Just like you guys do.'" My husband was shocked over the crazy news. After that day, he finally stopped calling me and his daughter crazy. As far as the male ghostly presence that's in her home, he seems more malicious. My stepdaughter believes that the male presence is the husband of the ghostly old lady that's there. It seems like they're husband and wife. Honestly, I wish the husband was as nice as the wife. The husband loves to scare me. My hairbrush gets moved, or items are placed in different spots around the house. Cabinets and drawers in the kitchen will randomly slam on their own. These occurrences will only happen when my husband is at work. My stepdaughter has also seen the male ghost and warns me to be careful. She says he doesn't like me being there. My husband has never experienced anything in the home. It seems like he's not sensitive like me and his daughter. If you've chosen to read my story in the April listener tales, then honestly, I will scream when I hear it. Keep it spooky, ladies, and keep on drinking your milkshakes. Sending lots of spooky vibes your way, Faye Evans.
Okay, hold on. Let's give Faye a moment. Get ready to scream, Faye. Get ready to scream! Because we just read your story. That was an amazing story. I wonder if Faye still lives in the same house, Jessie.
Maybe she does, but overall, at least one of the spirits in the house were nice.
Faye, I believe you are gifted with an ability called clairsentience, or some call it clearsensing. This ability involves experiencing emotions, sensations, or intuitions related to spirits or spiritual energy. It's a form of psychic ability where one can feel the energy and presence of spirits without the ability to see them. And I feel that your stepdaughter is a clairvoyant, or a medium. Clairvoyance is a term used to describe the ability to see things that are not physically present, such as spirits or visions. Mediums, on the other hand, are believed to be able to communicate with spirits of the dead. I'm not sure if your stepdaughter can communicate with the spirits, but it really does sound like she does have the ability to be clairvoyant.
I have been told I'm clairvoyant and a little bit of a medium. Like, for example, I see my deceased loved ones in dreams and talk to them. I also sense things before they happen, which I tend to dream about. On the other hand, my mom also sees full-body apparitions, which is a gift and a curse.
I agree. It's definitely a gift and a curse. And it's not something Jessie and I discuss publicly too much. Everyone always hears us talking about spooky things, but we really don't discuss too much of what the two of us go through.
I think we don't talk about it because it's like we're in a way where we're still in blind denial.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what it is, blind denial. You know, every time we experience things, whether we discuss it or not with each other, we tend to just go about our normal day, our normal everyday life, and pretend like everything's okay, like nothing happened, or we're not seeing anything or hearing anything. We just carry on about our day and kind of ignore it.
Like I said before, I'm pretty sure I said this before because I remember this. Where we live in our surroundings, people are not as open-minded as us to the paranormal, so it's not something we talk about much. The only time we talk about it is on our podcast or when we go ghost hunting, which we get a lot of looks.
Boy, do we ever get a lot of looks. When we went to the lighthouse, do you remember what those people walking by said? They thought we were doing a seance. Our film crew was recording, and you could clearly hear when we were editing, someone said we were doing a seance. We had EMF detectors, and that was it. We didn't have anything else. We weren't doing a seance, obviously. We were just trying to see if our EMF detectors would go off with our film crew. I didn't feel embarrassed. I felt misunderstood. And it made me a little bit angry, too, because of the ignorance. It's just like, how can somebody say you're doing a seance with a little box that beeps? That I don't understand.
The looks we get are very judgy, and people have a lot of ignorance. I bet you someone's gonna come up to us like a Karen or something, and they're gonna be like, "You never quit."
Oh, I'm just waiting for the day. I'm just waiting for the day. I've mentally prepped myself for that day. And we are very respectful when we go into places. Always respectful and safe. That's the most important thing, is safety. But there are people, like I said, and Jessie said, that don't understand and frown upon what we do.
Also, like, doing videos and you guys' support, it helps us to feel like we belong. And I have the greatest mom in the world, of course. God could not have given me anything better. It's hard to be a kid and go through these things, but at least I have you to talk about this.
You're gonna make me cry. Oh, I love you, Jessie. And you'll always have me. Girl, I've got your back in life and in death. Because if I leave this life, I'm still staying right next to you. I hope you know that.
I don't mind if you haunt me. I love you and I am not ever leaving you. You are not ever leaving me.
That's right. I'm never leaving you. I got you, baby girl.
You can't leave me. You're my best friend.
Aw, you're my bestie too. We'll be together always and forever and ever and ever and ever.
Eternity.
In this life and the next. That's a for sure thing.
This episode is brought to you by
Creating comfort magically. Bare Naturals uses 100% natural soy wax, clean scent fragrances, and natural essential oils. Enjoy a safer way to have your home smelling wonderful. With Bare Natural candles, your home is free of harsh chemicals and toxins. With an eco-friendly and space-saving design, you'll enjoy a safe sensory experience in the comfort of your own home every time.
Bare Natural candles are committed to only using the most natural, eco-friendly ingredients. Bare Natural candles are vegan and cruelty-free.
Experience luxury at an affordable price. These candles are a one-of-a-kind quality dedicated to peace of mind, relief, and protection.
Begin your journey today. Enjoy code WELCOME for 20% off of an order. Sign up for a free store account to view orders and gain access to your rewards for future savings.
Bare Naturals, where fragrance meets enchantment.
It's more than just a candle. It's magic.
So the next story we have is from Jordan. Hi, my name is Jordan Elizabeth Taylor. And yes, you can use my name. My mom and I listen to you every week on our drive to and from school. We love your podcast. The both of you are a lot like me and my mom. That's why you're our number one favorite podcast. My family and I have lived in our house for about 10 years. No one living here can deny that there is something otherworldly. From the moment we moved in, every night our bed seemed to shake. The shaking is at all random hours of the night, and it happens to each family member at different hours of the night. When we first moved here, I was about 4 years old. My mom and dad would hear me screaming and come running into my room, only to find the bed shaking. At first, they thought it might be a small earthquake. They soon realized that it wasn't an earthquake at all. Each one of us has kept a journal over the many years of our experiences. Again, there's no pattern. Our bed shaking is at random. Sometimes the shaking will just be a quiver. Other times, the bed will move violently, almost to the point of moving half an inch on the floor. I've never gotten a full night's sleep in our home for the past 10 years. Honestly, everyone, including myself, have gotten used to the bed shaking. It's become the norm and the punchline of every joke in our household. Is there a solution? What can we do? We've tried prayer, sage, and holy water. Nothing seems to work. And except for the occasional scary shared dreams by every single member in our household, nothing else seems to happen. If either of you have a solution on how to make this stop, please write back and let us know. And I agree with what Jessie says. Burn the whole house down. However, we can't do that. My parents work hard for what we have, and we have nowhere else to go. Thank you for all the laughs and nightmares, and for all the yummy milkshake recipes. Love you lots, Jordan.
Jordan, you left us on a cliffhanger. You said you and your family had scary shared dreams.
Jordan, please write us back and elaborate on the dreams. We have to know.
The fact that you and your family are having the same scary dream can mean something. Maybe the spirit or spirits in your house are trying to communicate with you.
Or warn you.
Yes! It could be a warning. So please write us back and let us know what the dream is about.
And Jordan, it seems like your family have taken some good steps with prayer, holy water, and sage. However, you may need a person of a religious origin to come and bless your home. You may want to try that next.
The same thing happened to us when we found this Marilyn Monroe doll in our attic. We tried sage, prayer, holy water, and oil. When everything else failed, my parents called our pastor, and we had a house blessing, and it really helped.
It sure did. Thank you so much, Jordan, for writing in. And please write back with an update and to elaborate about the dreams. I have to know what's going on with those dreams.
This episode is brought to you by
Tired of the same old coffee routine? Craving a cup of paradise? Introducing Kona Coffee House LV. Bring the magic of Kona coffee straight to you, wherever you are.
Kona Coffee House LV uses only the finest 100% organic Hawaiian Kona coffee beans, made by perfection by Sammy Scrumptious herself. These gluten-free and preservative-free beans are a rare specialty, offering a unique and unforgettable taste experience.
No need to wait in line. Kona Coffee House LV is mobile, delivering a taste of paradise. Book Kona Coffee today for corporate events, parties, venues, and so much more.
Follow Kona Coffee on Instagram at Kona Coffee House LV for updates on upcoming events. Visit their website at konacopel.com to learn more and schedule your Kona Coffee experience today. Don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity to savor the world's finest coffee.
The next story we have is from, let me make sure I can read their name. Yes, I can. It's from Michael. That's so weird. I was thinking of the name Michael. Is that weird?
No, that's what you have. You're clairvoyant. You've never seen this before, this letter, but yet you knew what was coming. That's just...
I was just thinking of the name Michael, like pastor. Like Pastor Michael or something.
We don't have a pastor
I know,
named Michael.
It's weird.
Wow. Okay. Something to pay attention to. Your intuition.
Hello, Jenny, Jesse, Jack, and pets. I enjoy your podcast. It's just the right amount of spooky. I listen to you lovely ladies with my daughter. My daughter's name is Lauren. She turned 10 last week.
Happy belated birthday, Lauren!
Happy birthday, Lauren! Oh my gosh. Happy birthday! Michael's letter says, I grew up in a haunted house. When my parents passed away, they left me and my wife their house, which was my childhood home. As a child, I was fortunate, or maybe unfortunate, in seeing irrefutable proof of something I couldn't explain. The previous owners of this home had a 1-year-old child that died. Growing up, my parents thought it was a good idea to give me the same room that this 1-year-old child had. Every morning, I would have to clean little handprints off of my dresser mirror. I was about 15 years old when my parents moved in the house. Needless to say, my hands were way too big to leave these tiny little handprints. And did I mention that I was the only child? Doors slamming open and shut on their own accord. Blinds moving when there was no wind blowing. Over time, I got used to it. As an adult with a child of my own, I'm very protective. Jenny, I'm sure you can relate.
I sure can.
When I moved back into this home, I made sure that my daughter did not get the same bedroom. Her bedroom is much closer to me and her mom. Oh, did I forget to mention my former bedroom is on the other side of the house? I didn't want my daughter to have to be spooked and not be near me and her mom for help. As far as the creepy stuff in her home, it's not as bad as it was when I was growing up. Little handprints now tend to show up on my computer screen in that room. I wipe it off without making a fuss to my daughter or wife. I have a corner in that office with small toys that I leave for the little ghost. Every now and then we'll hear a ball roll or a car roll, or walk into the office and see that the toys have been disturbed. The ghost does not seem malicious, and best of all, it doesn't really bother Lauren. The ghost girl respects our space and we respect hers. My wife and I understand that the home was hers before it was ours. So she continues to dwell within the walls of her home. In a way, you can say we've grown up together. Keep it spooky, ladies. Michael.
That's amazing that the ghost saw him grow up and is now seeing his own daughter grow up.
So there is such a thing as a friendly ghost. See, Mom, I told you so.
Okay, Jesse. You were right.
I'm always saying there's gotta be a friendly ghost. And you said Casper wasn't real.
Yes, I was wrong. I think it's beautiful that Michael and his family can coexist with this little ghost girl. It's so cool.
And it was really nice of him to leave the ghost toys. Because think about it. The ghost girl's always going to be a little kid. She's never growing up. And she's probably going to get bored.
That was such a nice gesture for you to do that, Michael. That was really cool. And I love the whole coexisting with this little ghost girl. It's really sweet. So the next story we have is from Pixie.
What a cool name.
That is so cool. Okay, so Pixie says, I'm a big fan of Milkshakes and Ghosts. I love your podcasts. Growing up, I've never been a big believer of the supernatural. I found it hard to believe that ghosts could actually exist. I became a believer when I got my first apartment at the age of 22. The place always seemed off. I can't put it into words. It was just a strange and heavy feeling when you walked inside. You could put the heater on, making the place warm and toasty, but still, it always felt cold. You could open all the blinds and let in all the beautiful rays of sunshine, but yet, the place always seemed dim. Family and friends wouldn't visit often. Even when they did, they wouldn't stay long. They too said the place felt off. After 2 weeks of living there, activities started occurring. Whoever, or more like whatever, was there was attempting to make itself known. Lights would turn off and on randomly, even while I was in a room. I would smell random whiffs of cigarette smoke, yet no one was smoking, inside or outside. And let me just say, I would never allow smoking in my home. I hate the smell. My dog would bark at things during the night, waking me up, always at 3 a.m. Then, about a month ago, there was a leak in my bathroom. It seemed to be coming from the walls. The apartment manager thought, maybe a leaky pipe, so he called a plumber to fix it. The plumber came, and I left him alone to do his job. After about 20 minutes, I went to check on him and see if he wanted anything to drink. He politely said no thank you, and then asked, "Is that your mom that keeps on checking on me? You can rest her worries and let her know I'll fix the problem." I stared at him, so confused. "My mom?" I said out loud. "My mom lives in another state. It's just me living here." The plumber's mouth opened wide. He looked so disturbed by what I said. He then responded with, "Look, I'm not trying to freak you out, but there's been an old lady walking back and forth in the hallway. She would stop in front of the bathroom door and just stare at me. Then she would go back to walking down the hallway. I just assumed that she was making sure I wasn't goofing off on the job." At that moment, a cold chill ran down my spine. I was totally freaked out. I hung out with the plumber until he was gone. The both of us were scared to be alone. As the months went by, I started to see an old woman walking up and down my hallway. She wore a long floral summer dress with her white hair tied in a high bun. Her eyes were a piercing blue, with wrinkles that reached the corner. A cigarette was always in between her fingertips every time I saw her. As time went on, I got to know my neighbors and became good friends with them. I eventually found out that the person living before me in this same apartment had passed away from lung cancer at the age of 71. One of my neighbors happened to have a photo of her from a barbecue that the apartment complex had hosted. And you wouldn't believe it, but the woman in the photo was the same woman I was seeing ever so often. Eventually, I moved out of that creepy place. I'm now a full believer in ghosts, since my roommate was one. Keep drinking milkshakes and keep being spooky. Pixie.
It's one thing to have ghosts, and it's another thing to have a ghost who has to be a smoker, which I do not want to smell cigarettes. That is gross. No offense, but it's gross.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's one thing to be haunted by, ghosts, but it would really suck if that ghost was a smoker. I've never thought about that before. I've never heard that before. I've heard people smelling cigarettes, but I've never heard of people seeing ghosts with a cigarette and smelling it. That is very interesting. Very spooky. Thank you so much, Pixie, for writing in. Very cool story.
This episode is brought to you by...
Looking for a reputable notary republic at an affordable price? Well, look no further. Mrs. Ashley Lutchman is now taking appointments and accepting new clients.
Jesse and I needed some documents to sign for our podcast.
We wanted someone with experience who was well known and didn't cost a fortune.
That's right. One of our good friends had worked with Mrs. Lutchman regarding some legal paperwork they needed notarized and recommended her to us.
She was professional, efficient, and affordable.
If you need important documents notarized, email Ashley Lutchman at ashleylutchman@gmail.com. Ashley Lutchman can be found on Instagram and TikTok. I will link her socials and her email in our show notes.
Ashley Lutchman is remote and commissioned in the state of Florida.
We have time for one more story.
Awesome! I'm glad we have time for one more. I was kind of getting worried that we weren't going to have time for one more.
This story we have is from Katie. Hey Jenny, Jesse, Jack, and all the things spooky in your pod lab. I heard one of your episodes and a spirit clearly said, "Get out." So you're definitely not alone.
That just gave you the creeps! Thank you for reminding us about that, and that did just happen recently. But it was really cool to capture that on audio.
It was amazing to capture that on audio. But anyway, Katie says, I grew up in an old house and never had any experiences there. Things would creak the way an old house does. I was used to it and it never bothered me. Years later, as an adult, I moved into another old house. Things started falling over by itself. At first, I rationalized it. I started taking special care in how I set things down to make sure it wasn't my carelessness. Although I tried logic and reason, things continued to fall in the middle of the night. One time, I set a paint can down. I thought to myself, this would be really bad if it fell over. With that in mind, I secured it and made sure it wouldn't fall. Seconds after turning around, I heard it hit the floor. Oh my god, I feel so bad.
Same, girl, same. Oh my gosh, that's gotta be horrible.
Paint all over the floor? That's a bad mess to clean. Oh, and here she goes and says that was the worst mess to clean. Electronics would go off in the middle of the night. I'd hear a voice calling my name or saying, hello. I mean, if it says hello, it's kind of being friendly, so...
No, I would be like, goodbye. Goodbye!
There was a couple incidents where I was actually touched, and that was my breaking point. I decided to do the thing they do in paranormal investigation shows, where someone talks to the ghost and sets ground rules about what is and isn't allowed. I felt so stupid doing it, but as soon as I did, everything stopped. It restarted briefly after a weekend renovation project, but stopped without me doing anything. I can't explain it. Hopefully, whatever it was, leaves forever and doesn't come back. Keep it spooky, ladies. Katie.
I'm still stuck on the paint can falling over and having to clean it up. Katie, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. That must have been a nightmare.
How'd the ghost clean it? Like, you're paying rent. What about the ghost paying for that paint bucket? Like, all the paint in there? What about the ghost paying for the cleaning? I would end up fighting that ghost. If that ghost is making a mess and messing with lights and water, then that ghost needs to get a job. I swear, ghosts have no consideration. Like, fight me, man.
They sure don't. Thank you so much, Katie, for writing in. So, we have a new thing that we're going to be doing every listener tells now.
That's right. Since we adore our listeners, we will now be doing listener shoutouts.
Our first listener shoutout is from Tiffany. Tiffany wants to give a shout out to her daughter, Ivy. Tiffany says, Ivy, your mama is so proud of you and can't wait to take you on a hunt.
Easter egg hunt or a ghost hunt?
That is a good question. Let us know, Tiffany, Easter egg hunt or a ghost hunt, because we are in April, with Easter and all.
The next shout out we have is from Chaz. Chaz wants to give a shout out to his sister Amber. Hey, my name is Chaz, and I wanted to give a shout out to my sister Amber and to let her know on how much a warrior she is. She beat cancer. Amber, always know that your big brother has your back. You're my hero. Love you, baby sis.
I'm feeling really choked up right now. That is awesome. Amber is a warrior. And Chaz, you seem like an amazing brother.
Our last shout out is from Derek. Derek wants to give a shout out to Rebecca.
Hey, my name is Derek, and I wanted to give a big shout out to my best friend Rebecca and let her know I will always be here for her. I'm just a phone call away.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Thank you all for your spooky stories and shout outs.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have. Thanks for tuning in.
Stay tuned for our bloopers after the announcements.
Our bloopers are a great way to laugh after we talk about spooky and sometimes disturbing topics. It's all our silly mistakes bundled up at the end of each episode.
And trust me, this episode in particular, woo, we've been in this pod lab hours. Even though this show is not hours and hours long, we've been in here for hours laughing and goofing off and making lots of mistakes. Right now, our assistant Jack has actually left the building because he's just like, I'm not editing this. Woo, this is going to be a rough one.
Milkshake.
So trust me, you don't want to miss the bloopers. We make a lot of mistakes.
If you have a spooky story and would like to have it read on air, or if you want to give someone a shout out, please write us at milkshakesghost@gmail.com. If you would like to follow our socials, we're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Twitter, and Patreon.
If you would like to become a Patreon member, please visit patreon.com/milkshakesandghosts. I will link it in the show notes along with all of our other socials.
Join Patreon for free gifts and cool perks.
Let's give a shout out to our awesome, amazing Patreon members.
Hey, alright. Patreon. Hey, alright. Come on and join the trend. Hey, alright.
Mr.E from Special Delivery Show. Check out the Special Delivery Show. His podcast takes interviews to a whole new levels. I'm telling you guys, Mr. E's show Special Delivery is my go-to podcast. It is my favorite. I'd also like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Sinister Brew Coffee, where every sip reminds you that the dark side is delicious. Wicked Salem's Candle, so good, it's scary. Bare Naturals Candles and more. It's more than just a candle, it's magic. Kona Coffee House LV, Hawaiian coffee delivering a taste of paradise. Ashley Lechman, a reputable notary republic at an affordable price. All of our sponsors are listed in our show notes, along with links to contact them. I'd also like to give a big shout out to PsychoFiend13. He posts really cool content and hosts weekly lives with some really amazing people. Go give him a follow. I will link his TikTok account in our show notes. All right, girl, take a deep breath. Get ready to give some love to our M&G VIP members. Are you ready?
M&G VIP members also include Alice from the Haunted Road Atlas, Jonathan Morales, Olivia Perez, Maya Sanchez, Luna of the Darkness, Carlos Rivera, Hidden Shadows, Zintar Escape, Aaron Gonzalez, Jenna 424, Richard Watts, Casey Spooky Stores, Jekyll's the Cult, Darren Willis, Deathrock 1875, Luxury 222, Clara Jones, John and Jenna, Mothman Prophecy 424, Vampires Rock 222, The Blind Happenings with Kelly and Brenda, Witches for Life 1892, Bigfoot is Real 76, Bloodsucker 95, Nightmares 888, Witchy Tuck 65, Dracula Rock 22, Tina and Ruben, Ramos 1972, Bruce All Spooky, Harmony, Joan of Arc, The Darkside, Ronald H, Josephine Taylor, Mario Miles from That's So Spooky, Jada Kamara H, Tony S, the Truth is Out There, Bernardi and Edward, Colin, Becca, Maiden, Kenneth, Jules and Christina, Joel from Paranormal Countdown, Alan, The Star 1, Maxine, Sarah Screams, Jules, Victor, Mara, Haunted Canadian History, Melissa and Dan, and Truth is Out There with Colleen Allison.
Woo! I love hearing all those names. We have so much love from all of you Patreon members, and we love you back. Thank you all so much for being Patreon members. We appreciate each and every single one of you.
And remember, keep drinking milkshakes.
And keep being spooky! It's time for bloopers! It has milk. If it has milk, it's a milkshake. Because I poured the milk and I shook it in a blender.
Oh my god. The fact that I was thinking that too, I was literally thinking that, of course, it's a milkshake because it has milk and you shake it.
In a blender, yeah.
Like,
okay, so it's a milkshake. Always have that one dog that's different from the rest. Extra hyper. And then you look at that dog and you just know somebody probably dropped you when you were a puppy. What is wrong with you?
Is that right, or am I just going crazy?
Like in Mario Brothers, you know when they hit the question mark.
I'm not thinking right now. I'm thinking now.
Girl, please go continue.
So I did it your job. Milkshake. Wait, can you make a milkshake? But a milkshake is just milk shaken up in the winter. Milkshake. And 10 months little bites. And 10 manana.
My milkshake is very refreshing. My milkshake. I feel like one of those things at the car thing going.
You know who else goes like that?
No, stop. Oh my god. I feel stresita.
I saw a paint con. Corn. A big lovely dog. It has a juice. It has a
Okay. I can't. No, I can't unsee it in my head. It's there. Even the dog is laughing.
It's spooky season, 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 spooky season. It's spooky season, 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 spooky season.